I'm Jazz, I'm the producer at Dead Pixel, and I wanted to share with you a peek behind the scenes at our 2-day shoot for Isovibe. They're a modern protein brand aimed towards women with a focus on clear whey in fruity flavours. When Sophie, their brand manager, approached us, the brief was still quite loose. They needed a bank of assets for their socials and website as a part of their brand refresh. They had a deliverables list, but the idea of what those shots looked like were not yet fleshed out. This is where we came in. As a self-confessed girly girl and gym lover, I knew I was their target market and that this was going to be one of my favourite shoots yet. So Isovibe knew we had the experience from previously working on multiple food and beauty shoots, and they knew that we'd be able to execute their vision to its full potential. Throw in a studio that's local to them and we were the perfect fit for the project. As the producer, I handled all pre-production, so that's scheduling, crew and talent coordination, and making sure the creative and logistical sides were fully in sync. So this was done through building out a production deck. This is a super easy way for us to keep the client in the loop and also gets us approvals a lot quicker as everything is laid out in front of them. So on here we had the backdrop options, model options and creative mood boards, just for them to get a grasp on the vibes that the brand were after. The brief asked for girly and poppy colours, pastel backgrounds and avoiding the stereotypical fitness shots. They wanted to play into the feminine side of protein. And based on this, I actually gave each flavour a persona as a place to start. So first up was sour cherry. We went for a cheeky retro vibe. We leaned into the concept of silk pyjamas, cherry cocktails, and games of poker at a sleepover. And the end result for this one, they were some of my favourite shots. Next up we had tropical. We went for more exotic holiday vibes for this one. Are you really sipping a cocktail on the beach, or is it a protein shake at the gym? Who knows? Then moving on to pink lemonade, this kind of felt like a contrast to sour cherry. It had a girly, playful vibe with the thought coming from the lemonade stalls that you'd see set up as a child. To create the sense of nostalgia, we leaned into this by styling with rollerblades to give it a youthful feel. These shots were another favourite, and we also did a test shoot in pre-production for this to make sure that the balancing act of shaker on wheels actually worked. So we also had peach and raspberry. This had a fun summery vibe to it, but we wanted to make sure it was different enough to the tropical. So we created a more playful, dynamic vibe with the models, kind of think inflatable kiwis and paddling pools. The styling was so much fun on this one, I just had an absolute whale of a time. There was such a mix of themes, but there was that feminine edge underpinning the overall campaign's look and feel, so I was just in my element. Each shot had a full page spread of references and the smaller details, so this included the outfit, the model used, what their hairstyle was, and what was needed for each segment. The intense amount of planning that went in before we even started the shoot really paid off on this one, as we ended up delivering over 200 stills, and the initial brief actually only asked for 40. So we shot everything over 2 days. The first day was dedicated to product photography. We wanted to really hero the packaging and ingredients and each flavour required, and we did this through capturing a solo shot, a range shot, a styled shot and an action shot for each flavour. We added some depth and interest through the more e-com style shots. This was just from using plinths and playing with the colours and the height. We also really got into the drink styling with a good mix of using the branded shakers and then also some more on-theme glassware. So the action shots were done using a series of clamps, balance and a lot of patience from Cal. By keeping to these allocated themes, when used alongside each other, the flavours will look independent but also cohesive on their website, which of course is really important. And then moving on to day 2, this was all about the lifestyle stills and how Isovibe fits into the day-to-day routines of the target audience, but with a more aspirational feel. We used a similar technique to the product day, using the themes to differentiate each flavour, ensuring we hit a 2-shot, a couple of styled shots and a fisheye shot for each. Based on the flavour personas, this really informed the decisions of the styling, and we went bigger with the props. Now we had the models to interact with them. We used a softer light to flatter the 2 models, and Cal gave them plenty of direction to draw out a fun and sassy attitude, which they nailed. And they looked incredible alongside each other. More importantly, they were really good sports when they were wearing swimwear in quite a chilly studio. In the end, we delivered a full suite of assets for digital, e-com and socials, all shot with consistency and intention. Working as both producer and stylist meant I could keep the creative vision tight, whilst also making sure that the shoot ran smoothly from start to finish. And honestly, I loved every second of it.